So we're going to sneak in some carrot. We've got frozen berries from the freezer. Even the seeds will pulverize. When you taste the drink, you'll notice how satin it is, how the seeds don't even show up. That's because of the power of this machine. It's so just fast blade action will do that. And then pineapple. Let's go to Maui here. Yeah. So there's our pineapple. And the core is delicious and good for us. It's got this enzyme bromelain. It's an important nutrient-rich thing. It's an anti-inflammatory food. Thick might make me sick. Thick sick, but thin-skinned food in is kind of a general rule of thumb. And then we can add just a touch of sweetness. This is optional. Kind of like honey. It's called agave that many of us use. And then ice. That was agave. It's from a cactus, Mexican cactus. And so you can use sweetener of choice if you like, or omit entirely. Some of us do that. Now the soup is cooling off. Does anybody want one of the last soups? Because I'm going to toss these. Waste not, want not. So look at that. Good for you.
Take one.
And then here's our smoothie. We started out on a low setting, everybody, and then we'll just glide it up. So we're in the down position. Variable 1 is the lowest speed of the Vitamix. Just see, that's the dance of the orange. See how slow that is? It's barely even moving. Just walk it up a little bit to 10, and then right there at top, you get this tremendous power to pull food. Just to make sure we have backup, and that's this handy stick. It works close to the blade. See how that was effective? Never touching the blade, yet coming very close. The lid will prevent it from touching, so that's nice. Anybody listening in, this is a delicious, healthy drink made in the Vitamix. Takes about a minute. If you have really hard seeds, such as raspberry or blackberry, you'll run it a little longer to grind up those seeds. They're tough. And the lid will pop free like so. Now, right after the smoothie, we're going to do yet another frozen treat for you guys, so stay tuned for that. Vitamix is versatile. It's not limited to one or two kinds of food processing. It does everything fast. Very convenient machine. And we know you'll love it once you own it. You'll tell your friends about it. Word of mouth is what drives sales. We're the most popular blender in dollar sales on planet Earth as we speak for that very reason. And when you taste that, you'll understand why. You guys want to try one? Come on over. Now, I forgot to mention it, but we talked about composting. I do a lot more of this at the warehouse than, because it's already a given. But this is yet another reason to use a Vitamix. All the odd stuff that you can't use for your juice, anything that's from an organic source, you create a fertilizer for the garden. So this will biodegrade right into your soil. You just call it an earthworm smoothie, if you will. And that's great for the garden. Pretending this is my garden, it'll soak right in. You'll get great results. Nothing wasted. So, how about you? Do you own a Vitamix? Yeah, we have samples here for you. Yeah. Great machine. And now you guys saw that apple dessert that we just did, the green apple. So this time we'll take some frozen strawberries with some rice milk, and we can do a frozen dessert for you guys. It's quite tasty. Next up is a frozen sorbet. Doing the dishes here. Fast, simple. You have this machine as well? 10 or 12. So 10 years here, 12 years here. And I bet you have a Vitamix too. So, my oldest Vitamix in my possession is a 1964 model. You know, it still runs. I don't use it much because it's kind of a classic. It's more for a conversation piece. You remember Ian, who wrote those songs? He was in my Ian McFerrin. There's another little girl waiting around the corner. So he was at a backyard barbecue just the other day at my place, and I realized he was the only person in the whole barbecue who didn't have a Vitamix machine. So Suzanne, who's the person that I go out with, goes, "Mark, you've got 2 machines. Ian doesn't have one." And I went, "You're right." So we gave Ian an old 5000, which is like your model. And so he started texting me, and he's been making things ever since. He's putting me on Facebook, and he says, "Mark, I'm turning into a Vitamix evangelist." And this is true, like anybody that owns the machine. Our ex-governor in Washington State recently bought a Vitamix. He was one of my customers. And he was almost indifferent when he bought, because he's a very popular guy. He wasn't observant when he was watching the demo, but he says, throw it in my cart. It was a different venue than this. So he buys a machine, but a month later, he comes from a distance with a smile on his face and goes, "I'm going to be your best, I'm going to sell these for you." And he called me by name because he knew my brother-in-law. And so the Secretary of Commerce of the United States was in my crowd telling everybody, because once you own it, you can't keep quiet about it. That's people love it. You have one too? Yeah. It's the same. So whether you're a struggling rock star or the Secretary of Commerce, you're going to go blob, you're going to talk it up and want a Vitamix. Speaking of, let's make something fun with strawberries. And these are hard frozen. And then we'll take a liquid base, and we have some good old rice milk. And you want to cover the blades with liquid. That's about the right measurement. See how the measurements are built in there? So that's easy. Again, a touch of sweetness if you want. Up to you. And then, this is such a simple recipe. Just hard frozen fruit. High percentage. That's it. So simple. The lid latches on like so. It's almost like too slow to go. That's 10 miles an hour. It's the slowest blender on planet Earth. And you just walk it up. Kick into high. Stick at the raise. And you just let that blade do its thing. That's how easy it is, guys. Notice those 4 mounds. You can kind of see it when I angle it for you guys. That's your indicator that it's safe to do the freeze test. See, it's really perfect. And wait till you try it. It's a really natural thing with all the natural fruits. The seeds got broken down because of the blade speed. And then if you don't own a Vitamix, ask yourself a simple question: can I do this at home in my ordinary blender? And it just won't happen. It's all about how that blade bites through the food, isn't it? And that's what makes this machine number 1. When I was hired many years ago, there were 3 people doing repair, and there were 200,000 Vitamix machines existing in the world. There's got to be about 5 million Vitamixers now. I think because there's 100,000 every month. It's about that. And I believe there's 4 repair people. Isn't that what Richard was saying? Is it
3.
Is it 3 still? It's crazy. Imagine going from 200,000 existing machines to 5 million, and you don't even increase your staff. What's this say about the machine, guys? It's truly the best. Quality once, and then quality pays you back. Buy quality. You'll never be let down by that. So watch out for that brain freeze. If you like strawberries, you'll thoroughly enjoy that. And here again is the cleanup, which you can't overstate it. Appliances that clean quick, they're the ones you keep using, and that's going to be Vitamix. Somewhere around here is my little cap, and this is the way you clean it. Have a strawberry dessert. That's dairy-free, by the way. Do you like it? Isn't it smooth? Do that at home every day. You'll enjoy it. This is a great book. It comes with lots of desserts, lots of hot recipes. Vitamix is famous for creating soups. You can also do salsa. You can do nut butters. We don't demo nut butter these days, but it's really a phenomenal kind of almond or peanut butter, whatever brand of nut butter you want. We do it in a Vitamix. And my name is Mark, and if you have questions, just fire away. If you want to get a machine, I can step down and sign you up. You want to get a second Vitamix, perhaps? You know? Yeah. Okay, so you've upgraded your older machine. You're still, yeah. That is our sales dilemma. Once you buy one, it's hard for most folks to justify getting a new one just because the old one still works so well. Well, the new containers, not only do they're sound suppressing, they're BPA free. That's the important thing. In Japan, the older style container, they wouldn't allow